Welcome to Týrcast 26.
Thank you.
My name is Here Johansson and I am talking to you from Prague.
Gunnar, go ahead.
You said it, Gunnar. Talking from the Faroe Islands. That's about it. It's as good as it gets, you know. And
Tad.
Thaddeus?
Yes, I'm Tad from Budapest talking here. Yeah, that's all I have to say to this right now.
And Hans talking from the Faroe Islands.
Maybe I should mention that I am the singer and guitar player of the band Tyr. Gunnar is the bass player, Thaddeus is the drummer, and Hans is the guitarist as well. We all sing backing vocals, as you will experience when our next album comes out. This is Týrcast 26, the 20th episode of our second season. I hope you're watching this on YouTube, which would be the best. You may also be listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or Buzzsprout, maybe even some other platform. I'm not sure where this goes actually. Or, in best case, you are listening on patreon.com/Týrband and you have early access to this, plus some extra behind-the-scenes material. On our last Týrcast 25, which was a month ago, unfortunately we skipped 1 month because, I was traveling, we were busy with some other stuff, and the traveling usually throws me off my routine, unfortunately. On Týrcast 25, it turned out to be quite the vomit episode. A lot of puke stories, and possibly for that reason the YouTube algorithm buried it because it didn't get very many views. I guess advertisers don't like their ads over vomit stories.
You really think that was the case? Maybe we were just really boring.
I'm not sure. I put all the vomit stuff in the title of the episode, and I think that must be one of the very first things the algorithm catches up on.
Well, then let's do something more nice, like rainbows or I don't know.
Unicorn farts.
Unicorn farts, exactly. In the next title.
Apart from that, what did we discuss in the last one? I don't really remember. There were a lot of these stories, but what was it about really? Anything?
Why do you have to throw us under the bus like that?
No. I'm throwing myself under the bus. I don't remember.
It was actually probably more or less about questions from the audience. And you mentioned the first YouTube subscriber.
Right. He didn't get in touch with us. I remember now. Today we are doing something completely different. We are going to review the new Dream Theater album, A View from the Top of the World, released about a month ago on October 22nd, 2021. This must be their 14th, 13th album.
I have no idea.
Me
But
neither,
a lot.
It's the 15th.
15th album.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
listen
have
to
certainly-
Mr. Google there.
I have
No,
the
no,
Wikipedia up.
Let him Google all he likes. Wikipedia is a good thing.
No.
They've been very productive throughout their entire careers.
Yeah.
And they haven't slowed down recently. I was just looking at their discography, and I listened to the third latest album. It's called the last one was Distance Over Time. Before that was The Astonishing. I listened to that quite a few times when it came out, and I was very pleased with that album. But the latest one before this completely skipped my mind. Distance Over Time. Did you listen to that?
Absolutely not. I have to
Just
admit,
went under my radar.
I'm not a big Dream Theater fan. I know
I
them since high school years, I think.
What did you
Many
call
of my
that album?
The Astonishing.
Before, after that?
Distance Over Time.
Oh, that must completely have skipped my mind. I thought The Astonishing was the last one.
Yeah, me too. Until I just looked it up right now. That
Sorry,
was a good album.
sorry,
by the way.
Thaddeus.
No worries, no worries. I mean, I just wanted to demonstrate my scarce knowledge about and regarding Dream Theater because I really almost never listened to them. I tried it a few times because bass guitarist of my former band, he was a great fan, big fan of them. But to be honest, I never really could get acquainted with James Labry's voice. It's not bad. It's just not for me. That's all. But about this album, I have an opinion. More on that later.
Gunnar.
What?
So how well do you know Dream Theater?
I know them quite well because I think me and you, we started at the same time listening to them, and I always liked them quite well. There, of course, are some albums that are favorites of mine, but to that later. No, I love the band actually.
I don't know much about them. I have heard some of their most famous songs, or popular songs, and that's it, I think. Always liked John Petrucci as a guitar player, though. Seen many videos on YouTube.
I think we started listening at the same time, like you said, Gunnar. Our common friend Henning Nicodemusen, the drummer,
Yeah.
introduced us to it. He started listening to it, and I was completely fascinated by Dream Theater the very first moment I heard it. It was either Images and Words or Awake.
It was Images and Words, I think.
Pro-
Both
probably.
of them.
Those are the second and third album. I think they were both out by the time we started listening.
Yeah.
And I was just deeply fascinated immediately, and I have been ever since. The musicianship is astonishing, quite astonishing actually, but I fell off the Dream Theater band
fell off?
sometime around. I fell off sometime around the Octavarium. I think is the last album I remember really paying attention to when it came out, and then more recently the Astonishing and now this one. So I started by already liking them before we listened to it here. Why did we decide to do this?
Because it's a quite recent and current album.
Yeah,
And
we
somebody recommended it.
maybe someone did. Yes, now that you mention it, yes. Someone recommended it on YouTube, I believe.
Probably.
She had the
yes.
name here. Never mind. Thanks for recommending it. It's very. I made a kind of detailed note for each song, and it's very insightful to look at how they put songs together because it's not really straightforward with them, and it's informative and insightful to go through it how they do it. So.
Go ahead.
It's a very straightforward start. Some of their albums start with a long intro. For example, I think The Astonishing has a very musical-like or cinematic-like structure. This one goes straight to the point in most of the songs. Very aggressive start, and there are very few long, soft passages here. Most of them are quite aggressive. The entire way. I like that. It goes very, very much straight to the point, and most songs have a good structure, I think, except for their usual long and winding solos. The two last songs, Awaken the Master and the title track, A View from the Top of the World, they're like 10 and 20 minutes, and they could have been much shorter. And when you look at all the pieces they put together for their solo sections, they could have made many more songs out of those, because the music is not bad. It's just not for people who don't have a very long attention span. And I find myself thinking about something else all of a sudden when I'm trying to listen, to concentrate on listening to to, for example, the last song all the way through. If I force my mind to it's not bad music. It's just too much in one, maybe.
I have a similar opinion and similar experience actually about that. I listened to the album several times while working out or when I was working at home, and the first four songs, yeah, I think Sleeping Giant was some kind of, the border between the two parts for me, at least. The stuff afterwards, I think that's, yeah, the three remaining songs, they did not really catch me. I mean, I was thrown off the wagon from there. Until then, it was actually quite interesting, but it just drifted a little bit away. Those few songs I listened to from Dream Theater before this, I had the exact same experience usually, that it is really beautiful and very complex music, and it's really hard to play, but it's also hard to follow through with it, just as a simple listener. It is a very nice experience, but I have to say, I always think about Dream Theater like about like a private circus. It's very difficult. You need a lot of practice. It looks great. It looks fantastic, and it's fantastic to listen to. But it's not really that honest kind of music, but more like really complex, entertaining. You know what I mean? And of course, it's more about them loving to play the music rather than to present it in a more acceptable form, maybe something like that. But the first song, for example, Alien, that was really great start. I was impressed.
I agree. Too long songs for me, but a lot of great stuff in them. Some parts better than others. Uh, just not really my type of music, but I can appreciate it. Kumar.
Oh, me? Well, I didn't have a chance to actually sit and analyze the album totally, but I put this album on in the car several times, and I find the same as Tadeo's a little bit, that I absolutely love the first couple of songs, but then all of a sudden I just find me drifting away in my own thoughts, and suddenly coming back to where was I? Because I think the solos, which is quite usual for them, that they tend to go on for way too long. They could have stopped way before, but then again, that's the way they make their music. But I must say, on this album, the drums on this album I really love. They are more aggressive somehow, which I really like. I don't know. it would maybe it's wrong to call it simplified, but they seem a little more simpler and more to the point on this one, and it sounds awfully good. So keep on doing that. That is really nice. It seemed like on the earlier albums that there's been drum wise, it's very technical and very very fine, neat technical stuff. On this one, it sounds like really hard hitting drums, and I love hard hitting drums. So, oh, it's good.
I mean, Mangini is also a very, very, very talented and awesome drummer. Really, I
They
mean, he's a
all
master
are.
drummer. Yes, of course, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe Portnoy was putting in more subtle things. Maybe, like I said, I'm no expert on this band, but as far as I remember, Portnoy was doing maybe a bit more of finesse in his drumming, but also
Ah,
maybe in this particular album, this was their goal to go in a more aggressive, more metal style and less proggy style direction, maybe.
I also
there.
one thing
Yeah.
about the drums, love how they sound, and I had to check who mixed and mastered the album, and it's
Mhm.
Andy Sneap, and I think he
Ah,
always has the best
Makes
drum sound. It's always very powerful, and
Uh-huh. Which other
that
bands has he done?
Judas Priest.
Judas Priest, Arch Enemy, uh,
Amon
Exodus,
Amarth as well, right?
probably Creator,
Nice. Okay,
a
so
lot of bands.
one of the really good ones.
Megadeth too, and yeah, Accept.
Well,
One
that
of
makes a
the
lot of.
But
You said
I was thinking about the structure of the songs. If you disregard the long solos, I thought the verses, the bridges, and the choruses, all the parts where there are vocals had very nice length and usually a very good build up, very good structure, just overall very well done. But then you get after the second chorus and there comes like 5 minutes of solo and it's been like that for forever for them. They started out like that, and it was quite fascinating to begin with, especially for us musicians, I think. But now it gives me the impression of unbalanced songwriting. You know, too little song, too much solo.
Yeah.
It has to be a better balance for a better overall listening experience. Now, if you are a nerdy guitar player, like we certainly, or nerdy musician, as we certainly used to be, maybe we're a bit less that now, then you might very well like that. But at where I am at right now, it doesn't fascinate me the same way it used to. I thought the first two songs were the two least catchy. I did write in the notes that I thought that the chorus of The Alien and the chorus of Answering the Call were not that catchy after I'd listened to them a few times. There was not a good melody or a good hook there that caught me. But for the last, at least the very last song, the title track and also Awake in the Master, Transcending Time too. I mean, very good choruses, very good song structures, and generally very good vocals. I've sometimes thought that his vocals were too I don't know, clinical or technical, as he has sometimes sacrificed pronunciation to hit the right tones. So sometimes I've thought you can hardly understand what the hell he's saying. but he's hitting the right tones. So that's been one of his problems. But he's been a bit hit and miss. Some albums he's been extraordinarily good. Octavarium, for example, his vocals are insanely good. Here, I think he is above his medium level. This is solid singing, I would call it.
Like I
I
said,
think
I found his voice on earlier records quite annoying. On this one, I'm totally fine with it. So yeah,
Give a listen to Octavarium. See what you think about that.
all right, I will. I remember
I-
that one or two songs, but yeah, I'll give it another listen. I think I mean had to be at least 15 years that I listened to that album.
I think he does really good on Falling into Infinity, which I still think is their best album ever.
Oh yeah.
I really love that one. I don't know why, but it has a good sound. And Train of Thought, wow, that's an amazing album, and he sings really good on there as well. And he has a good day on Systematic Chaos as well. Just in my opinion.
The thing with Falling into Infinity, it's probably the album where they have most songs with a very simple structure and very poppy, soft songs. And it works brilliantly for them.
Yeah.
So they are capable of making very listenable songs. I understand if they don't find that too interesting, or if they want to. They obviously like what they're doing, but as a listening experience overall, that might be better.
I Fallen into Infinity. Wow, ha. That's just fantastic. So, yeah.
What I find interesting is that this band has really some kind of signature melody or signature mood they are getting back to in almost every of their songs. It's like, you know, some have a signature bass sound or some drum fill, or, you know, something you hear and you say, that's that band. And with Dream Theater, I think it's a certain mood or atmosphere that appears around the middle parts of each of their songs. Like when they're done with the first few verses and choruses, and then go over to 5 minutes of soloing, and you know, you feel that mood that somehow, or at least for me, in my subjective opinion, always a little bit breaks the mood of the song until that point. You know, it always takes it to a more artificial level. It's like I said, some kind of a circus attraction. You know, it's not real feelings. It's more written. You know what I mean?
I can follow that. Yeah. One thing that I've thought about Dream Theater since they got the keyboard player they have now, Jordan Rudess, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
He uses a lot of retro or just old sounding samples.
Yes.
Some of them sound like they're, you know,
80s,
mono even.
very
It's
80s.
mixed in the mono. And it's not boring. That's the best thing I can say for it. But sometimes I think you really should have some better and more modern sounds, because I don't think it does the music any favors. He seems like he's clowning around just you know, behind the music sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're having fun. I don't think that part makes the music any better. Sometimes I wish it was a bit more symphonic and epic here and there. Although the last couple of songs on this album are really symphonic and epic. In other places, you know, they could have used some more better orchestration to make the choruses bigger, for example, instead of having this retro keyboard in the background. That kind of also gives them away, I think. it's one of their signature sounds. He's good at it. It's entertaining, but I think they might benefit from doing it differently.
Yeah,
Agree.
have to agree on that one.
I don't
Yeah.
agree. I like it. No.
Go ahead.
No. It's. I think it's very hard to just say anything about it because they do what I do and they do it very well. I think so.
No doubt about that.
And
Almost
also,
better than anyone.
and also, as Thaddeus also mentioned, they're doing music their own way.
Yeah.
And not it does not sound they necessarily are doing like let's write this catchy melody song that will hit number one. I don't think they do that. They write what they think is interesting, I think. So, but you'll never know.
It's yeah. I think that is probably correct, but it seems a bit of a waste when they have so many good sections of music that are, the 117th section of the solo on the second last song, and it comes on and you think, wow, this could be a really good song.
Yeah, but then they would have to make like 50 albums.
Or just pick out the best ideas and treat them a bit more concise.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wouldn't be Dream Theater, but then they have a riff where they all take turn at playing solos, and they just change the key and play another solo and another kind of solo, and some of the solos sound improvised, some of them are very arranged and playing in unison. Sounds like a lot of fun, but yeah, I suppose that's what they go for. And about their odd time signatures, it sounds to me like they're using the same ones over and over.
Yes.
The 7/8 for the verses, and nothing bad about that. But that's also one of their giveaway sounds. So there are quite a few things about them that I think makes you hear immediately that's Dream Theater. I thought there was once, maybe twice on this album, I thought this really sounds like I heard it before on earlier Dream Theater albums, but mostly not, honestly.
No, I actually got the same thing. There were some stuff that I thought were... I think they had something like that on earlier albums where some of the stuff came back, which they already done before. Just in a different version.
Yeah, they reused their own music. There's something on Scenes from a Memory that is taken from the second or the third album.
Yeah.
But then they also tie the lyrics back in, so you can see it's intentional. Whereas here, it didn't sound intentional. It sounded to me like there was something that was very similar to something on Scenes from a Memory, and then the chorus ends in out of place major instead of a minor, so it's not the same thing. They're trying to do something different, but thinking about how much music there is on this, that's a small problem, and there was really once, maybe 1.5 times where I thought that it was too similar to something earlier.
Yeah.
So if our maximum score is 9 hammers, then how many hammers would you give this album?
How often does 9 hammers occur? I mean,
you would give Painkiller 9 hammers.
Yes, I would.
You would give Ride the Lightning 9 hammers. Anything below that is
I would say I would have to say it's at least a 7.
Yeah. Solid 7 hammers.
I think I'll say the same. 7, very, very high quality. Suffers from, same thing as most of the other albums suffer from. Not really one extremely good song on it, like on some other albums. I'm not sure any of this is going to be one of their returning hits for live shows. It's very hard to say in advance, but I didn't have that feeling, except the 2 last songs maybe.
Hans, what's your take on this? Come on, feed me
Hammer.
with your information.
Hammer us.
I would say 6 out of 9.
Heretic!
So,
Smash!
Which is a great score.
It actually is.
in
Out of
Famian
9.
maybe.
No, come on. Out of 9, that's not bad.
So that's on average, that's 6.75 hammers goes to Dream Theater's A View from the Top of the World from Týr.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Since our last Týrcast, Thaddeus and I were up on Slattaratinder in the Faroes.
Yes.
I believe there
Explain.
are pictures on Instagram.
There are. Just explain quickly what exactly that is for those who don't know.
It is the highest mountain in the Faroes, 884 or something meters high. Doesn't sound very much, but it's a small and very steep country. And it was not 100% safe to walk there in that weather. But,
And it was
I would say
snowing.
when you are as fit as we are, it's close to very safe. But we got there. It was a nice trip.
We sure did. It was very nice. It was a bit chilly in the end, but yeah. And
You
we
can feel it
definitely.
when you're up there that the weather would kill you in a matter of a few 10 minutes.
Oh yes.
Didn't
Oh,
have
yes,
protection from the
definitely.
elements.
And we absolutely, definitely found the path at the first moment. Of course, there was no wandering around. No, not at all.
When we arrived, I thought, whoa, better get to that path. I know it goes up there. So we started walking, looking for the path. What the hell? Can't see a path. So it was very hard, at least for me, to walk on the slope. It's, very hard for my cows. So I was lagging behind a bit. And we finally found the path when we got, I would say, more than halfway up. Well above that. So, oh, good, we found the path. Let's just follow it back so we have easier walking when we get down. And when we got down, the path led like 2 meters from the car. I thought, how on earth did we miss that?
It was actually really. I mean, it was that's still the question.
Surreal.
I mean, it was very very hard to miss it. Actually, you know.
Yes,
It was-
it's like a step from the car out to the path.
There's the yeah.
How did we not see that?
Anyways, we've been at the top, and that's the important thing.
What
Didn't
was
see
the
shit.
original challenge? 700 meters?
700 or 800, but I think we said 700 in the end because
I believe we did.
yeah, because there's no 800 plus on Suðuroy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hans had the chance to come with us.
Neither here. It's 700 and something.
Oh, is it? Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So it's getting pretty bad hiking season in the Faroes. So I'm not sure that we're going to do anything about this until spring or summer.
Well, today the weather was absolutely perfect, but now it's
For like
You have to
7
be
minutes.
ready
Two-
because it
two-
changes in a
two-
matter of minutes.
yeah. 2 days ago it was there was snow everywhere, and one rainy night it all disappeared. And yeah, it changes like that. It's funny.
Yeah.
And now I think there's a storm coming up tonight again.
No
Everyone.
shit.
Again.
So
There was a pretty decent storm a couple of days ago before I left. I met.
Yeah, you make a commercial.
Show.
That was kind of cool, actually. It was so.
The thunder was fake. They had a light of a flashing strobe of some kind in front of me and put the sound on, but the rest was quite real. It was hardly the shaking of the camera was real. I mean, we could hardly stand on our feet there. We were out there doing that scene. It's like a 15-second scene. We did it 3 or 4 times, and we were completely soaked. And I wanted to go to a bit higher place to get more wind, but we got halfway up to that place. It's not even very high. And we decided to just stop there and do it. That was fun. I like that kind of stuff.
Looked very convincing.
So I hope it did. I thought up a new challenge.
You did.
I did.
Really? Bring it on.
Can we let our beards grow for a year?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Look at this. Look at this. This is my normal growth on the side, and this is the normal here. So I mean, I'm almost 40 years old, but I still am unable to grow a normal beard.
well, I mean, looks decent. Doesn't show to look at your face if you trim it. To shave. I was telling my girlfriend only yesterday, this is going to drive me absolutely insane. I'm going to shave it off tomorrow because I always underestimate how annoying I find a long beard. But if you guys are in,
hell no.
I mean, maybe with
no.
with
no.
some restrictions, like you can trim like a few millimeters every month or something like that.
Trim your mustache, for example.
Yeah. But because it just grows inside of your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, if that is an option, I'm in.
I'm not in.
How much trimming do you need? How much trimming do you need? What would be acceptable for you?
No, nothing, because having beard on the side here, it's unbearable.
I agree completely. I agree 1000%.
And that's just the first thing. And the second thing is, I have many scars on my face, so there are many places that it actually doesn't grow, so it looks fucking stupid. And on top of that, it looks like I'm a hobo or something like that when it grows out.
We all look like hobos.
What if the end of your chin, like what you have now,
here.
if you let that grow for a year, is that possible?
That I could do.
Do that.
Shake. It's a deal. That is the challenge. Hans?
So just the chin?
Yeah, like a goatee or what they call it.
Yeah, I can try.
1 year?
Yeah.
I
did let my beard grow for a little over a year, and I ended up earlier this year shaving it because I got so tired of it. It's itching and food gets stuck in there.
That is the worst. And I had my beard down to the middle of my chest at one point. I think it took me 3 years. And when you walk around in wind, and like it's windy in the Faroes all the time, when it hits you in the face, it really hurts. I mean, it's much more massive than your head here. Much more massive. It's like someone hitting you with I can't really think of a comparison, but it packs a decent punch.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this 1 year. 1 year. So well, if everything goes well, we'll be on tour in exactly 1 year. So
if all goes well, we will. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Deal.
Oh, it's starting to itch already.
I feel your pain, bro. I feel your itch, brother.
I mean, to be quite honest, if there wasn't a double chin hiding under here, this shit would go so quickly. But it's there to stay forever, unfortunately. So.
You look nice with it.
Oh, thank you very much. That's
You
very
are
much
welcome.
appreciated.
You are
Thank you,
so
thank you,
welcome.
thank you.
You look likable.
Oh,
Kashing.
Yeah, shouldn't we mention the picture?
what picture? What
Picture
picture?
of you and I.
Go ahead, mention it, please.
Well,
Oh, right.
Yes.
There was this neon sign of some kind, or LED
In Tórshavn.
sign in the window of the Nordic House facing the road. It says, "Make the North Great Again." And we had no clue what it was about, just thought it looked funny. So we jumped up there, made a selfie with this in the background, and people went apeshit on Facebook.
complete apeshit.
You can't say that. I'm gonna dislike. We'd lost at least 100 followers.
Why?
Relations to make America great again by Donald Trump.
Which is
This has nothing to do with that.
course.
This is a joke, and this is a Norwegian art exhibition installation that started in Svalbard, apparently in well, before Trump even, but now they have this "Make the North Great Again" slogan. I don't know who came up with it, and I don't think it's political. I think it's a joke of some kind. But when people see "Make Anything Great Again," they will dislike or unlike your band on any social media. I say good riddance.
Actually, yes, because we even put the link with the explanation of the whole thing there, and
Yeah.
many people didn't even care to read it. I mean, we got like over 5,000 reactions on the picture, and I mean, yeah, well, this was good for publicity, but this was not. we just thought it was funny because Scandinavia, North, whatever.
Do we keep on stepping into those what you say kind of unfortunate things?
Actually, this was we were talking about that. Should we not? Yeah, let's just do, because we thought, come on, how
You
bad
never
can
know,
it be?
But then again, if it's only online, and online opinions really are not representative of real world opinions. Everything looks worse online. So,
I just thought, "Make the North Great Again." Hey, that's a very, very cool sentence. Yes, of course, let's make the North great again. Well, it is.
It is already great.
yes, it is pretty damn great.
Yeah. So we're not talking about North America here, God damn it. The North Scandinavia, whatever you want to call it, even if some part of it is not Scandinavia. So.
Yeah. There was a very interesting study made by a Faroese guy who's on TV quite frequently. Oh, I can't remember his name. I've had some conversations with him. Anyway, the area of study here was how representative of the general public are opinions on Facebook and social media in general. And there was a very low correlation. Something might look very polarized and contentious and whatever on Facebook. When you ask people their honest opinion, not through Facebook or just a general inquiry to the public, ask general members of the public, random members of the public, you get a much more central opinion. People are much more gathered around the center opinion. If you look on social media, it looks like everything is polarized, and that may not be representative. So
It definitely
I think
is
we are
not.
fairly safe to ignore this. We lost 100 followers on Facebook who yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But we have talked about American
I mean-
politics before on this podcast, and we have said our honest opinion about American politicians. And I don't think anyone can come to the conclusion that we are pro
If you really are,
intelligent politics.
if you really are that touchy, well, what are you doing on the internet? I mean,
Yeah.
holy.
Valid point.
Yes. Oh, you should see the shit out there. This is absolutely nothing. You have so many pages to unlike if you can't stand that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
You can boycott them.
moly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we could use about 100 likes because, like I said, Gunnar is very likable with that nice beard, which will grow very long over the next year.
About there.
Look forward to being impressed.
It actually grows very, very tedious. I can't say that in English, but it grows very slow. Tediously slow. I don't know if you can say that.
Yes, that you can say that. You just did. It worked perfectly.
Oh, yes, I did. Eat your own words, Mr. Thompson.
You can find, talking to our dear viewers, you can find me on YouTube. I'll put a direct link. You can find Thaddeus on YouTube. You can find Hans on YouTube. I will provide direct links. And soon you will also find Gunnar on YouTube, although not yet.
Well, 10 years later. Yoo-hoo!
On Instagram, you will find us as Tyr_official. On Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, we are Týrband. You should follow us or track us, as it's called, on bandsintown.com/Tyr. Bands in Town will let you know when we play near you. That might be very important information that you do not want to miss. We are even on TikTok at Tyrfaro. At Tyrfaro on TikTok. You should frequently and loudly listen to your favorite Tyr songs. Stream them right here on YouTube or on your favorite streaming platform. You can also go to tyr.fo and purchase an LP, a CD, some merch, and sign up for our newsletter. On patreon.com/Tyrband, you can put questions directly to us. There were none this time. We will answer them right here in each Týrcast if there are any. We put out these episodes on the 7th and the 22nd of each month at 1700 Central European Time, in case we miss it for some reason. Anything to add, gentlemen?
Please don't follow me outside. It's very unpleasant.
That will be the last words. And thank you. Hope to have you back here on Tuesday, the 22nd of December at 5 p.m. Central European Time.
Shabang!
Ha det bra.